Govinda Guru, Govinda Govinda Guru Govinda.
Dhyanamoolam Gurormurti Pujamoolam Gurorpadam Mantramulam Gurorvakyam Bhaktimulam Gurorkripa. Yo brahmanam vidadhati purvam yo vai vedanscha prahinoti tasmai tagvamha devamatma buddhi prakasham mumukshurvai sharanamaham prapadye. Dear devotees, Radhe Radhe, we've been having a class this week on the principles of Sanatana Dharma, the philosophy of Hindu scriptures. And we've learned that the ultimate goal of our life is to experience God, and God can only be experienced by surrendering our mind. The ultimate goal of our life is to attain perfect happiness through a direct experience of God or meeting God. And such an experience is received through God's grace when someone fully surrenders their mind. Surrender, practically, when people hear the word surrender, it feels a little vague to them or hard to understand what does it practically mean. But if we use some synonyms, it becomes more obvious. Surrender or Sharanagati is synonymous with the attachment of the mind. Whomever we are attached to or whomever we love, we are surrendered to them. Our heart, our mind is surrendered to them. Faith and surrender are synonymous, practically speaking. If we have faith in God, we are surrendered to God. Surrender is in percentages. So if we have 50% faith in God, we'll be automatically 50% surrendered to God. If we have 50% attachment of our mind in God, then we'll be 50% surrendered to God. So surrender, love, attachment, faith, these are all practically, in terms of our relationship with God, one and the same. The goal of the path of devotion is to increase our percentage of surrender or increase our percentage of attachment. That happens through a process described in Gita, Dhyayato Vishayan Punsa Sangasteshu Pajayate Sangat Sanjayate Kama Kamat Krodho Bhijayate. The word dhyan comes here. Shri Krishna is telling Arjuna that attachment develops through repeatedly thinking about someone or something. He uses the word dhyayatah or dhyan. Practically speaking, when we think about someone or something very deeply, we're meditating on them. When we repeatedly dwell upon someone or something, we're meditating upon them. And that process creates attachment. The more we do it, the bigger the attachment or the deeper the attachment. This is the nature of the mind, to have this type of repetitive thinking about people and things. The Bhagavatam gives us some more insight into this. Vishayan dhyayataschittam vishayeshu vishajjate mamanusmarataschittam mayyeva praviliyate. Shri Krishna again is speaking in this shlok, and he used both the word dhyan and smaran. Dhyan, meditation, and smaran, to remember, to dwell upon something. It's one and the same. So he says, when we dwell upon or meditate upon the objects of pleasure of this world, our mind becomes more attached in the world. And when we meditate upon Shri Krishna, we become more attached to him. So this, in gist, is the reason we want to meditate on God. On the path of bhakti, meditation is the primary core practice. But how to do it? We already know how. We already dwell upon people that we love in this world. We already repeatedly think about people and things of this world. This process is natural to the mind, and all we have to do is divert it towards God. This practice has been called Roop Dhyan by Jagadguru Shree Kripalu Ji Maharaj, because Roop means the form. And naturally, in the world, when you dwell upon someone, what happens is your mind creates that image of that person in your mind, right? If you're thinking about someone, you see them in your mind's eye. That is literally Roop Dhyan. When we do the same thing for Radha Krishna, that is also called Roop Dhyan. And when we do Roop Dhyan on Radha Krishna, our mind gets more attached to them. It also gets purified. So this whole thing of gradually becoming more faithful, more attached, more surrendered, along with that, the mind gradually purifies. So the negative qualities of the mind reduce and the positive qualities of the mind increase. And along with that, we start experiencing God's real presence, physical presence. And we start getting a taste of the fact that he is divine bliss. So today, I'm going to have you do a couple of meditations, just a few minutes of meditation, so that you can get an idea how to do it on your own, or when you come here at Radha Madhav Dham and we're doing Kirtan, what are you supposed to be doing? Kirtan is the helper because it helps us focus, but the primary thing we're doing is actually Roop Dhyan. So let us all close our eyes for a minute and form the image of Radha and Krishna, or if it's easier for you to think of only one of them, then you could think of just Radha or just Krishna, or if you like to think of both, then think of both. Think of them not in the way that you're imagining someone at a distance, but actually visualize them as if your eyes were open and you were meeting them face to face. It should have that kind of real feeling. We call this Bhagavad Bhavana, imbuing our meditation with this faith that real Radha Krishna are here with us. In fact, they even inhabit the form that we are imagining because they pervade everything. This is the essence of Rup Dhyan. So imagine Radha Krishna and imbue that imagination with faith so that it's no longer imagination, but you're trying to actually see real Radha Krishna right here in front of you. And since it's real Radha and Krishna, you can see their eyes moving, their eyelashes moving, their ear pendants slightly jiggling if they move their head. You can see their chest rising and falling as they breathe. You can see them smile as they look towards you. You can even hear them say something to you. In this way, we're now going to do a couple of minutes of chanting, and I'd like you all to continue with your own personal Rup Dhyan of Radha Krishna, however your mind likes to do it. There are no restrictions. You have total freedom to see Radha Krishna any way you want and interact with them any way you want. So now you continue your own effort in keeping your mind focused on this Rup Dhyan, and we'll add in some kirtan to help us stay focused and experience more deeply. Radhe Radhe Govind bolo re.
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 Radhe Radhe, Govind bolo re.
Radhe Radhe 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 Govind bolo re.
This meditation goes with the nature of your mind, because the mind wants to think of something beautiful. The mind desires happiness. In this meditation, we are not trying to clear the mind or make the mind blank or thoughtless. There's not much value in that anyway, other than a temporary sense of peace. Because having a blank mind doesn't make you more attached to God or able to receive God's grace. Having a blank mind doesn't purify your mind, and having a blank mind doesn't result in God realization or the attainment of divine bliss. Bringing Radha Krishna into our mind does all of that. Therefore, this meditation is not only easier than trying to have a completely empty mind, it is also much more fruitful. This meditation is the core of Bhakti. All other physical forms of worship need to have this Rup Dhyan incorporated into them. Otherwise, they're merely physical. They have no effect on us internally. The real point of doing bhakti is to transform ourselves internally by purifying our mind. But this Rup Dhyan can be incorporated into any practice of worship that you're accustomed to doing. Any routine can be enhanced by adding Rup Dhyan. And if you leave the Rup Dhyan out, then you're doing something, it's a good physical thing you're doing, but it won't have the true effect of devotion, and it is not considered part of the path of God realization. So we always have to start with Rup Dhyan, then add Kirtan. Start with Rup Dhyan, then do Arti. Start with Rup Dhyan, then offer Bhog. Start with Rup Dhyan, then do Puja. Rup Dhyan is Pramukh. Without Rup Dhyan, all these practices are physical doings. With Rup Dhyan, they have a power to join us with God. Rup Dhyan can be practiced anywhere. It's not like other practices regulated by the Vedas, where you have to be, what time of day, how you have to sit. Because Rup Dhyan is just between you and Supreme God, Radha Krishna. They're everywhere, all the time. Therefore, you can do Rup Dhyan anywhere, anytime. The only thing, if you want to practice Rup Dhyan every day, then you need to find a place where you won't be disturbed. So you need to have a comfortable, quiet place to sit and do Rup Dhyan. And sit comfortably but alertly. And just remember that the more time you spend doing Rup Dhyan, the more benefit you will get. So you might start with 5 minutes a day. Then you might change it to 15 minutes a day, or 15 minutes a day, morning and evening. And then you keep increasing, because the more you do it, the more you'll enjoy it. The more pure the mind becomes, the more ras we receive through our practice of Rup Dhyan. So this Rup Dhyan can and should be adopted by everybody. This is what we are taught by Jagadguru Shree Kripalu Ji Maharaj, that any form of worship can be enhanced by adding in Rup Dhyan as the primary focus. And if we do so, we move towards God realization. Do it in a place where you won't be disturbed. You can have an image of God there to help you develop that Rup in your mind. So you can look at it and then close your eyes, and then again open your eyes in between if you need to. And there's one more thing when you're doing Rup Dhyan. We need to not only imagine the form of Radha Krishna, but we need to feel related to them. So we're going to do one more short meditation now, where we are still creating that image, and even we can engage any of our five senses: hearing Radha Krishna, touching Radha Krishna, smelling the fragrance of their flower mala or the perfume they're wearing. We can engage all of our senses, but we also want to engage our heart. And the heart is engaged when we feel related to someone in a loving way. So, in this round of Rup Dhyan we're going to do, I'd like you to choose that either you're going to think of Radha Krishna with Sakhya Bhav, which means that they're your best friend. Shri Krishna could be your brother or your best friend. Radharani could be your sister or your best friend, your saheli. You could also choose Vatsalya Bhav. Krishna is your own son. Radharani is your daughter. You could also choose Madhurya Bhav. In Madhurya Bhav, we see ourselves as a gopi. And Shri Krishna is our beloved. Shri Krishna is our Priyatam, and our desire is to serve Radha and Krishna for their happiness. Gopis always look for a way to please Radha and Krishna, to make them happy. So this is Madhurya Bhav. You can choose which one you want. When we're doing the Rup Dhyan, you just see Radha Krishna, so you can close your eyes again. See Radha Krishna. And when you see them, you think of them in this way: oh, this is my best friend. I'm going to go and talk to them. This is my child. This is my beloved. You decide, and you bring that feeling into your heart with Radha Krishna. We're going to now, each of us, continue with our own personal meditation as we do a couple more minutes of Kirtan. Radhe Radhe Govinda Radhe Radhe Govinda bhajo, Radhe Radhe Govinda. बोलो बरसाने वारी की जय, श्रीमद सद्गुरु सरकार की जय. If you want to continue this Roop Dhyan practice at home, I would recommend that you do it with Kirtan. So we have Jagadguru Shree Kripalu Ji Maharaj's YouTube channel for Kirtan. We also have our Radha Madhav Dham YouTube channel that has many of our past satsangs that we've had in the last few years. And we also live broadcast our satsang every evening at 7:30 p.m. So if you want to join us for our evening satsang in person, you're welcome to come and join us and participate in our meditations and kirtan. And if you're able to do it from home, then you can just join our YouTube channel or log into our YouTube channel, and you can join the live kirtan that we broadcast every night. So we'll have a few announcements now and then offer bhog and do arti.
Radhe Radhe. Thank you for coming to Radha Madhav Dham. 2 announcements. One is next weekend is a very important weekend for all the devotees of Radha Madhav Dham because that's Guru Purnima. It's a day we honor our Guru. We remember him with gratitude for everything that he has given to us.